Hello people, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Analyst. If you're new to this channel, kindly do me a favor by subscribing to this channel and turning on your notification bell so that whenever I post a new video, you'll be the first person to be notified. Today we'll be talking about 5 important Excel functions that every beginner has to know. This data is a data set that contains students and their scores in various subjects, right? And here we have the first name, the last name of the students. We have the scores for the different subjects, right? So thermodynamics, the scores for each student, chemistry, genetics, right? And today we'll be learning the 5 top functions, which is the sum function, the average function, the if function, the concatenate function, and VLOOKUP. Okay, so let's dive in. The first formula, which is sum, helps you to add numbers quickly instead of manually adding values. So it helps you to sum up or adding numbers quickly, right? That's a way of saying that addition, right? So summation of numbers. Right, so let's take, for instance, Joseph, which is the first student. In thermodynamics, he had 65. In chemistry, he had 89. And in genetics, he had 65, right? So, should in case we want to add up all these figures, we can choose to do it manually, but then Excel is there for us to use, right? And that is when the sum function comes very important, right? So the first thing that we have to do is enter your equal sign. Kindly put in mind that in Excel, every function that you want to use, you start with an equal sign, right? So you enter the equal sign, then you type the name of the function. In this case, it is a sum function, right? So just type sum, sum, S-U-M. Type sum, right? You click on open brackets, then you highlight all the figures that you want to add up. So from the 65 down to the 65, right? From here you highlight all the way to the last one. So it's cell E3 to cell G3, right? Then you close the brackets and then strike enter. Ooh la la. So the total is 219. So it's added 65 plus 89 plus 65, right? And the sum was 219. Now we can choose to do it for all these students, right? By adding up that. But then Excel has a way of doing it to make it easier for you, right? So just position your cursor here until you see this plus sign. Then you triple click 1 2 3, good, and you see that automatically it will fill in for the other values, right? So it's added up everything manually, automatically for you, right? So you can try it out there and drop comments if you had the same thing as what I had here. So let's move on to the second function. The second function that we'll be dealing with is the average function, right? It helps you to find the mean of numbers, right? Rather than summing up all of them and dividing, right? So the same procedure, you click on equal to, you type average, right? You open brackets, then you highlight from the first number that you want to find the mean for to the last number, right? After that, you close the brackets and you strike enter, right? And the figure is the average for this student is 63. It's 73, right? And the same procedure, you want to find the average for all the students, you just position your cursor here and then you triple click, and that should give you all that. Yes, and you have realized that there are too many decimal points here or decimal numbers here. So how do we go about it? Drop your answer in the comment section. Yeah. So let's move on to the next function. The next function is the if function. Right. And the if function, what it does is that the if function allows you to make logical decisions in Excel, right? It allows you to make logical decisions in Excel, right? So let's take, for instance, you type if, right? And within the if function, you see that you have three inputs that we have to fill, right? We have the logical expression, logical statement. We have the value if true, which is if those conditions are met, what should be the outcome? And we have the value if false, if those logical statement that we drafted or we imputed was not met, what should be the outcome? So that's the meaning of the value if true and value if false. Now, our logical function is that if the score is greater than or equal to, okay, so if this student here scores is greater than or equal to 65, right? Or let's say if it's greater than or equal to 65, what should be the outcome? The outcome should be pass, right? And if these conditions are not met, the outcome should be fail, right? And once you are done, you just close the bracket, you strike enter, right? So and that is it. And when you cross check, you see that this student has 65, which is equal to, which meets the condition that we set, right? And how do we get it across all this, all the other students? Just the same procedure. You position your cursor here and you triple click, right? Great. And you see that all the students had a pass except for this student, Jacob, who had 20, right? And that does not meet the condition, which is less than 65. That means he failed the course. So that's how the if function helps you, right? So you can try it out with different data sets and everything. Our next function will be the concatenate function, which helps us to join tests or strings of tests, right? So the same procedure, you enter the equal sign, you type concatenate. Here's it, right? So let's say, for instance, we have the name here, the first name, the last name here. We have Joseph and Guan here, right? And you want to get the full name, right? Joseph and Guan, full name in one cell box, right? Within the concatenate function, we have the strings function. We have the strings, we have the inputs, input 1, input 2, input 3, based on the number of tests that you want to join together, right? So in this case, we want to join Joseph and Nguyen together to get the full name Joseph and Nguyen, right? So just click on the first name, which is Joseph, C3, then you bring your comma, right? And strings 2. What other tests do you want to join? What other tests are we joining to the Joseph, right? Which is the last name, which is the Nguyen. You click on it as well. After that, you close the brackets, you strike enter. Oh la la, you see that it has given us the full name, Joseph Nguyen. But wait, there's one problem, one issue that we have to fix, which is the space, right? Do you know how we can fix it? Drop it in the comment section. Great. So after clicking on the first test, right, you bring your comma, you bring double parentheses, you bring comma, and within the parentheses you strike on your space bar to give a space, right? And after that you just click enter. and you'll see that the issue will be fixed. So just save space and go on, right, making it very nice. After that, just the same procedure, you position your cursor here and you triple click. Great, so it will just automate it across the other names. So just Thomas Beidou here, you could say that Thomas Beidou nicely here, right. Our last function for this tutorial will be the VLOOKUP, right, and this is one of the most powerful function in Excel, right. So the VLOOKUP helps you to access information very easily, right. Let's say, for instance, we want to find out the score that Abuaji had in chemistry, right? Or let's say we want to find out the sum, right? The sum of the score of Abuaji in all the three subjects, which is the 87, 76, and 83. We all know that it's 250, right? But let's say we're dealing with a very large data set, right? And we don't want to manually figure it out, right? The VLOOKUP can help us to find it, right? So let's position our this in here and type equal sign. Then type VLOOKUP. So within the VLOOKUP, we have 4 inputs that we have to fill, right? You have the search key, you have the range, you have the index, and you have the either is sorted or the data is not sorted, right? So the search key is what you are searching the information about. You understand? So in this case, the search key is Abuaji. Abuaji is search key because he is the one that we are going to fish out information about him from the data set, right? So the search key is him, is that. After that, you bring comma and the range. So the range means that which part of the data set is that information that you're going to look out for in, right? So in this case, you just highlight from the first name down to the genetics, right? And you just down to the sum. Great. So that's it. So you just highlight from the first name down to where that information that you're going to look at for is, or the column that it is. So that's the range. So within this range, you should find what you are looking for in here, right? And just bring comma. So the index. So the index is just the column number, right? From the first to where that information can be found, okay, or can be found. So in this case, we will start counting from here. The first name 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that information can be found on the 6th column, right? But then we don't know where it is. You understand? So just the index is just the column number, where the column number in the range that you have highlighted, where that information can be pulled out. Okay. So in this case, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So in column 6 is where the information that we are looking for it is. So just input here 6, right, comma. Then the last information is it sorted or not? Basically, we didn't sort our data set, right? So in this case, we will say false. We say false. We didn't sort the data set, right? And we then close the brackets. Then strike enter. So the information is here is 250. So it means that in the total across, or the total score for Abuaji across all the 3 subjects was 250, and we can cross check that from here, from the sum here. Here's it, Abuaji 250. And that is it. So in case you're dealing with a very large data set and you want to put out information without manually going through the data set to fish it out, the VLOOKUP is the best function to use. And that's the end of this tutorial. Thank you guys for your time. Thank you guys for taking your time to watch up to this end. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, share this video to your colleagues and anyone that might be helpful to. If you want to encourage me, that's the only way to encourage me. Share my videos, subscribe to this channel. Let's build this community together. Thank you guys. See you in our next video.